Colonel West, we've been talking about the assault on liberty. But patriots aren't lying down.
No.
They're standing up. Tell us some of the things that we see that are happening that fight back for liberty.
Well, I see an incredible awakening of the people. They're being better informed, better educated, better activated. And I give you a great example. When Terry McAuliffe stood there on that debate stage in Virginia and said that parents do not have a right in deciding what their children are being taught, he lit a flame. And what you saw happen was, for the first time in, I believe, 15 years, Democrats lost all the statewide offices in Virginia. And what ended up, people went out to these school board meetings. People got engaged. Well, probably the only positive that came out of COVID was that the kids were locked up in the house with the parents, and the parents looked at these online classes and said, what in the Sam Hill is going on? You've heard me say this before, and going back to when I was the chairman of the party here in Texas, that the most important elected position in the country is school board. Now look at what has happened. Look at what has happened here in Texas and all across the country. We see school boards being flipped. And that is where it has to start, because it is about the education of the future generations and not allowing the progressive socialist left to get into the minds of our children and our grandchildren. So I see that happen at the grassroots level. I see more people getting out there and running for local elected positions, not just focusing on what's going on in Washington, D.C., but trying to figure out, how do I affect change right here where government most closely affects me? One thing Tip O'Neill said, all politics are local. And I think we're finally understanding that. And for the first time since the Tea Party movement, I think you're really seeing a constitutional conservative grassroots movement again.
Well, there's no question. I go and speak at a lot of Tea Parties. I know you do as well. And I will have people come up to me and say, I'm fighting back, I'm running for school board, or we just took over our school board. We kicked out these bad critical race theory lessons or pornography or LGBTQ material. And parents are standing up because they're seeing their kids being slowly stripped away from them. And they said, wait, this isn't America. This isn't the way it's supposed to be. So they are fighting back. And they took what you said. Most important elected position, says, I'm running. And I think it's a great thing.
Well, it is a great thing. And all of these things are coming to a head. I mean, who is putting these ideas in our kids? Well, you don't have to be a little boy, a little girl. You can be something else. And really, that's undermining the omnipotence of God to say that God wasn't smart enough to be able to determine Adam and Eve, male and female. You can be whatever you want.
Even a kitten, if you want to be, or a dog.
Yeah, absolutely. So these are things that are absolutely just totally absurd. And now we've got to fight against this perversion of the, all ages drag shows. And, when you tell people that this stuff is happening right here in Texas, they're like, no, it can't be. But it's happening everywhere.
Just down the street from where we are now.
Roanoke, Texas.
That's right.
Absolutely. And the venue was guarded by Antifa. Now, if this had been some constitutional Christian, gathering with kids, and you had, patriots outside armed and protecting the venue, the left would have been apoplectic. And so again, it's this hypocrisy, and it's almost as if there's a Politburo that is forming here in the United States of America, some type of secret committee that are making rules for everybody else, but not for them. And I think that is part of the awakening that people are seeing.
Yeah, well, that's the thesis from my book, According to Plan, is the elites want to control everything. And whether the Communist Party elites in China or the Communist Party elites here that claim to be Democrats.
Yes.
They want to be in absolute total control.
You can't even use a natural gas stove in your house.
I know, that's nuts.
So they're telling you...
Based on stupid science.
Oh, it's not even science. It's the hyperbole of a partisan, think tank that does not want us to be able to capitalize on our oil and gas resources.